And good morning. Hey. How you doing? Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Great to see everybody. All right.
Really good group for you.
Have a seat. We got some things to talk about here today. All good things. You're up.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Robert Doherty High Rise. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Patrick Padula. I'm the Executive Director of the Housing Authority of Lackawanna, of the County of Lackawanna. We're proud to have here this morning some of our elected officials, Mayor Conway, State Representative Marty Flynn, Senator of Revenue Pat Brown, Governor Shapiro, thank you for coming. And we also have in-house tonight, we have County Commissioner Billy Gahan, Commissioner Chris Chermak, there he is. Anybody else? I got everybody? Okay. Congressman Cartwright? I didn't forget you. Lackawanna Housing is committed to enhancing quality of life for our seniors and for people with disabilities, ensuring they have the community centers and living space that help live comfortable and fulfill lives in the community. I'm pleased to stand with our leaders, our governor, Secretary Brown, Senator Flynn, who had followed through a big win to help provide financial relief for our seniors through expansion of the property tax rebate program. I see firsthand the program offers our seniors in Dunmore and all of our elderly and disabled residents who participate in the program. As a Housing Authority official, we've helped thousands of Pennsylvanians apply for the rebate, and we have a big increase in the number of people who have approved for a rent rebate in Lackawanna County. Some seniors in the Robert Doherty High Rise have already received their rebates through direct deposit and noticed an increase from last year. With the extra support we can offer our seniors and people with disabilities to help them afford and make ends meet, maintain their independence. This makes a real difference in helping them feel safe and secure in their homes. I want to thank the leaders who helped make this rebate expansion possible and for your commitment to our older population in Lackawanna County. I would also like to recognize the Housing Authority team members who help our residents in preparing the rent rebates for our communities. In addition, I want to recognize our members who put some extra time here over the weekend to prepare the facility for our governor's visit. Tony Carmano is somewhere here. It is Tony in the back. Melissa, Cheryl, Les, and Joe. Great job, guys. Place looks great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It looks great.
Yeah, it does. And they did a good job. Thank you, everybody. Keep up the good work. Now I'd like to introduce Mayor Conway. Where are you, sir? There you are, Max. Okay. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Go get him there.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to welcome you all to Dunmore today as the mayor of this great borough. I'm thrilled to see so many members of our community gathered here to discuss this important program. Today, we're privileged to have a very distinguished guest, someone who has demonstrated his commitment to the well-being of all Pennsylvanians. Governor Josh Shapiro has been a tireless advocate for policies that uplift our communities, and his leadership continues to make a positive impact across northeastern Pennsylvania. Governor Shapiro's property tax and rental rebate program is a testament to his dedication to ensuring that everyone, especially our seniors, those with disabilities, and those on fixed incomes, can afford to stay in their homes. This program is designed to provide much-needed relief to homeowners and renters, helping to ease the financial burden that so many of our residents face. Last year, Governor Josh Shapiro signed into law a historic expansion of the property tax rent rebate program, the largest targeted tax cut for seniors in nearly 2 decades. This expansion increases income limits, provides larger rebates for those who qualify, and includes a cost of living adjustment to keep up with rising prices. Starting today, July 1st, these rebates will be distributed to 442,000 older homeowners, renters, and people with disabilities across Pennsylvania, totaling nearly $266 million. Of those 442,000 residents, it's notable that approximately 79,000 of those are first-time filers thanks to Governor Josh Shapiro's efforts. This is the first update to the program since 2006, raising the maximum rebate for seniors from $650 to $1,000 and increasing the income cap to $45,000 a year, ensuring that no seniors lose out due to cost of living increases. Additionally, to ensure that eligible residents receive the relief they're entitled to, Governor Shapiro extended the deadline to apply for these rebates from June 30th to December 31st of this year. This is truly a great program. Now, speaking on behalf of the borough, I do need to add a personal thank you to Governor Shapiro. Under his leadership, we have seen a focus on practical solutions that address real challenges that Dunmorians face today. Whether it's through programs like the Property Tax Rent Rebate Program, or his work pushing for faster permitting for businesses, professional licensing, or making grant opportunities available that weren't prior, Governor Shapiro is bringing real results. Most recently, with the help from our state legislators, including Senator Marty Flynn and the governor's office, our Dunmore Police Department received a state grant that will equip our officers with top-of-the-line body cameras, ensuring their safety and the safety of the public. Since he took office, our work with the state has never been better, and it's never been clear what our goals are, and I credit that to the person in charge, Governor Josh Shapiro. Now, with all that said, it's my great pleasure that I introduce to you the Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you. Great word. Thanks, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is so good to be with all of you today. And let me begin by saying you got a hell of a mayor. He looks really young, but this guy is doing really, really terrific work here in Dunmore. And it's good to be back in Dunmore. And he, like me, is focused on common sense solutions to the big challenges that we face. And I think he also lives by the same three letters I live by, which is GSD. And since this is an appropriate group, I'll just say that stands for Get Stuff Done. And that is what we're focused on in Pennsylvania, getting stuff done. I want to thank two of my incredibly important partners who are here today. Two people who make sure that we're able to deliver for Dunmore, for Lackawanna County, and for Northeastern Pennsylvania. The first is Senator Marty Flynn, who's my partner in the General Assembly. And all of these important wins we have are as a result of bipartisan work in the legislature, and Senator Flynn is out front doing that work. You're blessed to have him fighting for you every single day in the Capitol. And I will also tell you that much of the gains that we have been able to make, particularly when it comes to infrastructure, clean water lines, roads and bridges and rails that are going to help connect the dots for people, making sure that those who don't have access to high-speed internet actually have it again. That's because of the incredible work that Congressman Matt Cartwright does every single day in Washington for us. He is a great partner to have. We talk regularly, and you're blessed to have him as your congressman. Congressman, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. So listen, this is a big day. It's a big day for the Commonwealth. It's a big day for Northeastern Pennsylvania, and it is a big day for Pennsylvania seniors. I came today to make an important announcement, but before I do, I actually wanted to say thank you to all of you. You have helped make me a better governor. I listened to you when I was campaigning for this office. Seniors here in Northeastern Pennsylvania and all across this Commonwealth told me how challenging it was for them to live on a fixed income. Told me how frustrating it was to them that the Property Tax Rent Rebate Program, something that started out as a lifeline in the early 2000s, that they got priced out of because they got a Social Security COLA increase and no longer qualified. Or the same dollars that they were getting last year were the amount of dollars they were getting 10 or 15 years ago, and it just didn't keep up with rising costs. We know that prices are rising. We know that costs are rising, and we know that it hits our seniors who are on a fixed income particularly hard. I heard you loud and clear when I was campaigning to be your governor, and I made a promise to you that one of the first things I would do was figure out a way to bring Republicans and Democrats together to give Pennsylvania seniors the relief that they deserved. Now listen, I'm literally the only governor in the entire country with a divided legislature. Think about that for a minute. The Senate led by Republicans, the House led by Democrats. So to get anything done, it's got to be common sense and it's got to be bipartisan. And so one of the first things I called on lawmakers to do was to stand up for Pennsylvania seniors, to join me in expanding the property tax rent rebate program, to make sure that we nearly doubled the amount of money people would get back, and that we expanded, nearly doubled the number of seniors who would qualify for that relief. And importantly, that we would have a COLA attached to it, so year after year after year, as prices went up, so would the property tax rent rebate, and you'd never get priced out again. We got that work done a year ago. And I'm here today in northeastern Pennsylvania on July 1st to tell you that literally the checks have been delivered and seniors all across Pennsylvania are getting the relief that they deserve today in Pennsylvania. Today. For those of you who signed up for an electronic transfer, well, thanks to Secretary Brown, who joins us here. This guy's the Secretary of the Department of Revenue. He's the guy that counts the money. He can do math in our administration, right? They already clicked the button, and so the money has been sent to your bank account. For those of you who elected to get your check in the mail, some of you already received them. The rest should be receiving them here in the next day or two. And you should go cash that, put it in your account, and use it for the things that you need it most. You are part of a group of 442,000 seniors all across Pennsylvania who just received $266 million in tax relief. Now, I want to just give you some context for that. Last year, it wasn't 442,000 seniors, it was only 283,000 seniors. Last year, it wasn't $266 million, it was only $132 million in relief. So we doubled the amount of relief, nearly doubled the number of seniors who qualify. But here's the challenge. We still have 125,000 seniors across Pennsylvania who qualify for the relief but haven't signed up yet. And as you know from signing up, particularly with the help here at the Housing Authority and in the Lackawanna County government, they do a great job of this. If signing up is easy, but 125,000 seniors who qualify haven't signed up yet. That's why I used my authority as governor, together with the Secretary of Revenue, to extend the deadline to December 31st for those other 125,000 seniors who still qualify for that relief but haven't gotten it yet. So I came today to say thank you to all of you for being in my ear, for making me a better governor, for making sure we got this done for you. Here, come stand with me here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. This gentleman just held up his check right there. All right, if anybody's interested, go see this guy for a free dinner tonight. But I want you to know that while I'm thanking you for helping us get this done, I would also just ask you to say to your neighbors, say to your friends, hey, you may qualify for that. Head on over to pa.gov/PTRR and go online and fill that out. Or stop by the Housing Authority or the Lackawanna County government and get some help on the application. I want you to get this money. You deserve this money. We set aside this money for you. Remember before when I said we've delivered $266 million? Is your check for $266 million? Understand, that's not a cap. There's still more money available in order to, thank you, sir, thank you. There's still more money available to Pennsylvania seniors, and I want you to take advantage of it. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. I realize that we're gathered here in, kind of polarized times, right? And I realize we got Democrats here, we got Republicans here, we got people who agree on things, people who disagree on things. One of the things I think probably a lot of people agree on is that they feel like sometimes government's dysfunctional, that it doesn't actually fight for the people that need help the most. We are focused like a laser beam on the people that need our help the most. We are proving here in Pennsylvania, notwithstanding our divided government, that we're not going to be dysfunctional when we're divided, but instead we're going to do things that are common sense. We're going to bring Democrats and Republicans together to solve pressing problems. And so I hope that not only are you cashing that $266 million check today, but I hope you're also feeling that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania can get stuff done, that we can actually find ways to come together and be less polarized and show here in the birthplace of democracy, here in the birthplace of our nation, that we know how to find ways to do common sense things and restore people's faith in our system at the same time. I'm grateful to all of you Dunmorians. I'm grateful to all of you here in northeastern Pennsylvania for talking to me about these issues over the years, to making sure that we had our marching orders when we took office a year and a half ago. And today I'm proud to be back here today to let you know we delivered for you. I'm grateful to all of you. The check is quite literally in the bank or in the mail. Enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Thank you very, very much. And now, it is my pleasure to bring up someone you know really, really well, someone who's been the beneficiary of this initiative, someone who has been the beneficiary of the property tax rent rebate, and that is our friend, Joanne Rinaldi. Joanne?
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. My name is Joanne Rinaldi, and I have lived at the Dunmore High Rise for the last 10 years. I'm also on the resident board. With me is Melissa Mitchko, who is the property manager at the high rise and who helps us. She helps us submit rebates for the residents in the building. And I'm grateful that Governor Shapiro and the state legislature raised the income limits and expanded the property tax rent rebate. Thanks to the expansion, I qualified for the rent rebate for the first time this year. I'm glad to say that my rebate will be deposited into my account today, as big as yours. And many people in this building have received the rebate as well. I plan to put my extra money towards my upcoming vehicle inspection, gas, and grocery items. There are many other people just like me in this building and across the state who were able to qualify for the first time ever. The deadline is December 31st, and I encourage anyone over the age of 65 who is eligible to apply for this rebate. Thank you.
Give me a hug. You did great. You did great. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. And it is my pleasure to welcome Senator Marty Flynn for a few words. Senator?
Thank you, Governor. I came into office as a state rep back in 2013, and in and year out, I would see people come into my office about the rent rebate, and I would see them, miss qualifying for the rebate by $20, by $100. And this is probably one of the first times where I felt like we've really accomplished something finite to see change people's lives by changing these income limits from $650 to $1,000, and by upping the income limit to $45,000. It was no easy lift, as the governor can tell you, but we actually got it done with common sense. With common sense, knowing that people are struggling day in and day out. Just doing this helps more people get by. And this is the kind of government projects I love to support. Year in and year out, I'll support these things. And if anything ever comes up, I just want you guys to know, just please reach out to the office. If anybody you know wants to find out if they qualify, just reach out to the office, and my staff will help with that. So it's great to be here. It's great to be with the governor, to see our tax dollars at work. And let's not forget, this $260 million is going back into the economy, because this money is going to be spent by Pennsylvanians in Pennsylvania, and that's going to help stimulate the economy, which is always a plus. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Flynn. And as I said, Senator Flynn is a terrific partner in the Commonwealth, and we've got a great partner in Washington, and Congressman Matt Cartwright, who has done really terrific work for Pennsylvania seniors during his time in his legislature in Washington. Congressman Cartwright.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor to be here, both to support what Governor Shapiro is doing, what our terrific state senators and state reps are doing in Harrisburg to get this over the goal line. I want to congratulate all of you for having such a terrific person like Melissa Mitchko working with you. She's been here 15 years. She's already more popular than all these politicians up here.
For sure, for sure.
I also want to, speaking of politicians, I want to congratulate you on a wonderful mayor that you have here in Dunmore, Max Conway.
Thank you.
First time I met Max, I thought, he's the mayor? I've got socks older than this guy. But he's an effective mayor, and I look forward to big things out of Max Conway for the future. And speaking of big things in the future, let's talk about Josh Shapiro for a moment. I went around and campaigned for him, and I got to know him on the campaign trail. And one thing I noticed about him was that he listened as much as he talked, which is unusual for a politician. And he did. And he listened to me when I talked about passenger rail. And talk about something that will bring down the cost of living for seniors when we expand the tax base around here, so it's not just the seniors trying to prop up the school districts and all of the local services. That's going to be a very big deal. Look for that 2028. And I can't be more grateful to Governor Shapiro for all he's done. That project was dead in the water before Josh Shapiro came along. It really was. Yeah.
We call it the Cartwright carriage. That's what we call it.
No. It's the Shapiro cannonball. But today we're talking about PTRR, property tax and rent rebate. And part of what he was hearing when he was going around listening to people was that people are struggling right now, making ends meet. You know, the cost of living, there's no denying. We can talk about economists talk all you want and inflation numbers and, you know, month to month and year over year. I don't care. The cost of living is tough right now, and we all feel it, and you feel it. And so, boy, if there's one thing you want to do to fix that is to help bring down the cost of living for people. He has done it. Marty Flynn has done it. Yeah. So, when we talk about 442,000 seniors in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania who are benefiting today from the property tax and rent rebate, I couldn't be prouder of these folks that pulled this off. They did work across the aisle to do it. I agree that's the only way to get things done in government is to drop your partisan talk and work together. They've done it, and I couldn't be prouder to stand here among these people who got it done. Now I want to introduce to you the Secretary of Revenue of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Pat Brown. Come on up, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Congressman. On behalf of the entire team at the Department of Revenue, it's just a pleasure to be here with Governor Shapiro to celebrate a very important initiative. One of the prime reasons why the governor's leadership was really important on this, working with Senator Flynn and the rest of the General Assembly, is the losses over the last 20 years have been significant. 163,000 seniors had lost this benefit, 30% of the entire program, because for 20 years, the program wasn't adjusted like programs like this need to be when they're based on a fixed amount of income. That was unacceptable to Governor Shapiro, and because of his leadership, working with Senator Flynn and the rest of the General Assembly, the numbers will be up to over 550,000 seniors again, and that is really important. Just a couple of quick statistics. As the governor had mentioned, July 1 is the day. Over 450,000 seniors received their benefits today. One of the things that happened this year, we were able to process 96% of all the claims that came into the Department of Revenue before today. Prior years, it was around 75%. And that's with 175,000 new recipients. One of the reasons that's happening is we're encouraging folks to file online. We had 108,000 claims online this year, which is an 80% increase over prior years. The more that happens over time, the more we can process the claims on a more efficient basis. In closing, I just wanted to mention one thing about the source of this. As you know, this program is funded through the lottery. And 20 years ago, there wasn't as much activity and competition to the lottery as there is now. There's a lot more gaming that used to exist 20 years ago. If you choose to play, I'll say it to the folks that are watching, if you choose to play, consider playing the lottery, because it is the one gaming activity out there that has a very significant public purpose, and that is benefiting seniors throughout Pennsylvania. And I look forward to working with Governor Shapiro to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you. All right. So I want to spend some time talking to all of you, but before I do that, I'm going to answer some questions from the press who are here. So hopefully that'll be quick, and then we'll get an opportunity to spend some time together. Any questions from the media? Kayla, you want to? Hey.
Governor, these checks, I assume, went out before today, right? So they're in the mail. So can you, as of today, send out any more checks, considering you don't have a budget? And how is that done?
We can. I'll let the secretary talk about the technical process. Let me talk about the budget in general. We worked our tails off this weekend, and I want to say a special thanks to the leaders in the Senate Republican leaders, and the leaders in the House Democratic leaders. And I want to say a special thanks to the staff. Everybody has been working around the clock. We are deep in the red zone, and I expect that we will get this done very soon. We've had really honest and constructive dialogue. As I've been saying for months, everyone was going to have to compromise in this divided government. But when you compromise, you make progress. And so I'm not going to get ahead of the leaders. When we have something, concrete to announce, we will. But I can tell you that we made real progress this weekend, and I'm grateful to everyone for their hard work. If the people of Pennsylvania could have seen just how constructive everyone was being on both sides of the aisle, I think they would have been proud of their state government, and we'll get it done real soon. Anything you want to add on the process?
We can continue to send out the checks because they're paid through the lottery fund, as opposed to the negotiations on the budget.
Anything else from the media?
How does it feel to know that this is finally happening and it's done for you guys? Common sense to making compromises that you would actually do.
I'm elated. I mean, the joy on the face of seniors, being able, to hear from Joanne about how she's now going to spend that money and how she's going to invest that. The number of seniors who have come over to me in tears saying, now I can stay in my home, now I can stay in my apartment, now I don't have to worry or have anguish anymore. That fills me up. Listen, I got into this business of public service because I believe government can be a force for productive good in people's lives. And this is a way we really helped our seniors. And I couldn't be more proud of our team. I couldn't be more proud of the bipartisan group of lawmakers that got it done. And I couldn't be more happy for Pennsylvania seniors.
Will the Republican tax cut that was passed by the Senate be part of it?
I'm not going to talk about any specifics. I could just tell you, as I said before, we're making really good progress, and we've had honest and productive dialogue. Anything else? Okay. Oh.
On to the race for the White House and
I hope not, but if you want to ask, no, go ahead. Kayla, whatever.
Basically, Joe Biden up for re-election. He had what some would say is not a great performance in the debate. Can you comment on where you see that moving forward? Well,
look, Joe Biden had a bad debate night, and Donald Trump was a bad president and would be a bad president. And nothing about Thursday night's debate changed the fact that there is a clear choice in this race between Joe Biden, someone who wants to expand and protect our freedoms, someone who wants to continue to invest in places like northeastern Pennsylvania, someone who is a good, honest, decent, moral human being who acts with integrity. And Donald Trump, someone who ripped away the freedom of millions of women across Pennsylvania and across this country, someone who's promised to take away more of our freedoms, someone who wants to inject more chaos into our living rooms, into our economy, into our lives, someone who wants to screw over the middle class through his policies. And so I think there remains a clear contrast in this race. I'm going to do everything in my political power to make sure Joe Biden is reelected president.
Yeah.
All right?
Can we stay with the national topic? I know you've been traveling, but the Supreme Court ruling has come out on whether presidents have complete immunity. Have you been following up with that, or?
Would you like my thoughts on that? Is that what you're asking? Yeah. Nearly 3 centuries ago, Here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, we made a conscious choice to break away from tyranny, to break away from a monarchy, to break away from a world where certain people were above the law. And throughout the last 247 years, we have oft repeated that no one is above the law. And in many ways, that has been a stabilizing force for our democracy. That no matter what you look like or where you come from, who you pray to, which was critically important to the founder of this Commonwealth, that you ultimately would be treated equal under the eyes of the law. Today, sadly, the Supreme Court of the United States upended that and broke away from that bond of equality that has fostered the growth of this nation and has kept this nation together over 2.5 centuries. I think this is a dark day for America, holding that now there is at least one person who is above the law. That is not the very core principle that this nation was founded upon. And the Supreme Court, I think, has ushered us into a dangerous new era, and one that all Americans should be concerned about. I have grave concerns with this ruling today, and not just because of what it means for Donald Trump, a corrupt individual who now is legally above the law in many cases. But I worry about the future of this nation, and I worry about the fact that we no longer have that same underpinning of equality that our founding fathers worked so hard to develop in the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, the city of Philadelphia. This is a dark day in America. We're going to move forward, and we're going to do everything we can to fight to make sure that we are able to bring back more equality in our system, to unpack the Supreme Court that Donald Trump packed in his last term. God forbid we give him the chance to add more justices of this type of mind to a Supreme Court in the future. That's why I'm going to be working so hard to make sure in this election we vote for freedom, we vote for democracy, and we vote for a rule of law that is fair for all. Thank you all very much.